You're already here. You clearly like what you see. Would you like more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I bet.
You're in luck because we're going to do bonus episodes on Patreon for you.
Yeah.
So
Legally,
sign up.
we don't know what it's going to be. Don't commit to anything.
All right.
Whoa, man.
Patreon, there's some stuff on there. We don't know how much. We don't know what. But
Sure.
by the time this comes out, it will be decided.
Yes.
Hard sell.
Yeah.
Talktown. I mean, we did say maybe to mention possibly doing town hall.
Yeah.
Town hall. Maybe
We call
it's
town hall.
you guys get involved and you're able to join a Zoom or write in some stuff, or maybe it's the three of us doing more of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've discussed a lot of ideas. Are you mad at me now?
No.
No.
All right.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty, as of right now, we don't know the exacts of it, but you'd be getting bonus. If you like the three of us and whatever this is, you'd be getting bonus material of this in
Yes.
some capacity.
Yes.
So that feels like something you'd like to pay for. Great.
The link
By
is
all
in the
means.
bio.
The link
The
is
link
in the bio.
is
of
in the-
whatever you're doing.
We
Yeah.
don't know that link yet
Nope.
because we record these things so fucking far in the future. They only God knows.
It's 2.5 weeks.
Yeah. So we have to make the link too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We're gonna make
that
the
link will
link.
be there by
Yeah.
the time you're hearing this.
We're
Yeah.
putting the cart way before the horse and advertising something that we haven't sorted out yet. But I think that is the Talktown way.
Yeah. Exactly.
And
You
I
know-
think that that's exactly what we should be doing, is having an advertisement for a question mark.
Well, that's the thing.
Perfect.
If one guy signs up, I don't want to commit to a full 3-hour episode
Nope.
every 3 days.
It won't be that.
It won't
we're
be
not
that.
doing
No
that.
matter what.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
No matter what, it's not a 3-hour episode every
Yeah.
3 days.
Yeah, look, we're not doing the bare minimum, but we're also not going to do the maximum.
Yes.
So somewhere in the middle is
Yes.
what you're getting.
And if you don't like it, you can take us to court.
Yeah. Smaller claims court.
Well, they don't know
and
about
in the
that
case
yet.
of what Greg has done to you, big court.
Yeah. Well, this comes before the podcast, so they don't know about Smart Claims Court yet.
Well,
They'll kind of figure out what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
what an ad.
Great.
Welcome to Talktown, where the chat never stops. Orange hats and black hats guiding us like signposts. Let's keep the dialogue going. Let's keep the connection strong. Welcome to Talktown, where we all belong. Where we all belong.
I only been listening to trans artists.
Yeah, you were saying this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all know about that?
No.
They're, so my favorite
Crazy.
song.
What a crazy way to talk. Your manner of speech.
Yeah.
So I've been listening to all these songs,
All
and
right.
I found out each one of them is trans. Every one of them. Ethel Cain, are you familiar?
I don't know.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Singing this song for months, and then this, I was talking to these young kids at the cellar. They're all like waiters or waitresses and shit, all real young. And I was like, y'all know about Ethel Cain? And they were like, they're like, oh my God, Greg knows about all the trans artists. And I was like, I didn't know that. But I don't know. Anyway, then this human Claude. Do you know about Claude?
No.
Woo! Another one. I didn't know that. So here's the thing. This could sound fucked up, and I'm high. I really would like trans people to get
Gotta
their
look at
rights.
Livey too.
I want trans rights to go through.
Sure.
But if it takes a little longer, we keep getting a couple more silver albums, gold records. It's not bad.
I think that trans people having rights and them making great music are not mutually exclusive. And I think we will arguably have more awesome trans artists making music if they have rights.
No. When you're being pushed down by the man.
Yeah,
If they
right.
live
If
to
they live
become
and
artists.
survive and are allowed
Okay,
access
won't say
to
live and survive, because now you made my argument a whole way worse thing. I'm saying you put your knee on people a little bit, they make better music. That is historically correct. Name a rich,
I understand what you're
enfranchised
saying.
person who makes good music, except for Taylor Swift. She's the only one. That's why she's so special. Because she's the first rich ass motherfucker to make great music.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Sure.
With
Right.
more struggle becomes better
That's
art.
what I'm saying. So,
but like we
Good.
all do comedy. Would you say you make better comedy when you're paying your rent versus when you're not paying your rent?
I make better comedy when I'm paying my rent, but I make better comedy because of
Rent.
the abuse my stepfather put me through mentally, physically, sexually. Sexually wasn't his. He didn't molest me, but I did find him so hot, and I couldn't have him. So that's a problem.
Was there a moment where he spurned your advances?
Oh, every night when I sit
Yeah.
down for dinner and I look at him and he go, "What are you looking at?" And they're going, nothing, Big Daddy. That was 7. This is fucking weird. Fuck it. I hope he hears this.
We haven't done this in a few weeks. I think we're all a little out of sorts.
Well, I will say I'm sick. I am more lethargic, so there might be little spurts of energy for me. I don't know,
But it'll be this. Mostly.
Yeah, I think it'll be this mostly. So unfortunately, you'll have to adjust to this.
Okay.
No excuses, man. This is whatever this is what this is. We do
Yeah.
it for Daddy. We do it for the Dale. Ethel Cain. It's great.
Is
album.
that one of her songs?
That's one of her lyrics.
Okay. And Lib, you're a big fan of Ethel Cain?
I know some of her music. Like I hear it and I'm like, I like this.
Okay.
Yeah. It's because you're a boomer.
You're older than me.
Yeah, but I got the heart.
Right, you have the heart of a young person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Generation of Gen Z.
I don't. I probably have
let's
the
see.
heart of somebody in their mid 70s, just from a health standpoint. But
Well, yeah, Greg, what generation do you identify as?
Yeah.
Fall asleep?
well, this is the thing. We won't know if you're awake throughout the podcast like this.
I think I might take a few naps. Wake up with some ideas.
Tough day for
Day for living.
Yeah.
kind of running this thing on my own.
Oh, I can't think of more of a nightmare for Allison.
If you're asleep, and you're also probably
He's
asleep.
asleep. Yeah, he's been asleep since he was born.
You do have a sleepy vibe.
I have
You
a
know, like,
sleepy. You have a
just-
sleepy vibe.
yeah.
Just kind of sleepy.
Yeah.
He came
Not
out-
not low energy, just sleepy.
When he came
like
out of the womb, the doctor did CPR on him. And they were like, this thing is too asleep. And they just started pumping on your
This
chest.
thing is too.
They were like, you don't do CPR for people sleeping. And he goes, well, I'm a bad doctor.
Yeah, that's right.
I just diagnosed this kid as too sleepy and then tried to do CPR on him. A lot of bad things about me. That story took turns.
I wonder if you do that when you go into a doctor's office and they go, this guy is a bad doctor.
Yeah.
But maybe he gets better and the only way is on you. So since you got an ankle sprain, why don't you go to the bad doctor? Do you know what I mean?
For something kind of lower stakes.
For lower stakes. And then
Not a lot to do for it. So see what he does.
Yeah. Worst comes to worst, it just lasts longer and it's
Yes.
annoying and that sucks. But
There are bad doctors.
yeah,
So someone's going to them.
yeah. But I guess they don't announce it.
Yeah. They're not like, oh, go to the bad doctor today.
Right.
Yeah. You know you're a bad doctor when you're dead. You go, I wish that guy was a good doctor. 'Cause I am dead. I'll be honest, you guys keep giving me weird looks today. Or is it me?
No,
No,
Am I just saying weird things?
I think it's a mix. I think it's a little bit you and a little bit you're saying weird things.
I don't think it's
but it's both you.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're the source of both reasons.
Yeah, all right. Well,
I like that name, Ethel Cain.
Yeah, it's
It
great.
sounds like an important
yeah, well, she
name.
picked it.
For sure.
You know what I mean? That's the fucking problem. You get to pick your own cool name, right?
could-
Like that's a
You picked a name.
no. I did not. My mom picked my name.
Your
that's
first
it.
name.
Greg. I didn't
Yeah.
pick that name.
No, I know you didn't pick Greg.
Yeah. What am I missing? I'm saying that's what's cool about being trans. You get to pick your own name.
Oh, I see.
And they
I thought you
don't-
meant about being like a musician.
Oh, yeah.
No. Well, that is cool. No. Also, that might not be a real name. You're right. That could be like the band. I love going to band is like our band name is Timothy Zane.
I
And you're
love
like,
that.
the
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
You're just a name. A
Yeah,
person?
just a guy. Yeah.
yeah.
It's great.
Michael
There's 6 of you.
Franzino, yeah. 12 of you, yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you all him?
We form one Michael when we play.
It's weird looking for band names because you're like, well, what are just some cool words? What
You mean if you
represents
were to
us?
have to come up with a band name right now?
Yeah.
That's versus like
Yeah.
just reading through lists of existing band names.
Well, if you pick your own name or you pick a name of a book, you're like,
Center?
it's got to be about what's in the book, right? But with band name, it's like here's just like, well, we're the poop couches or the flaming heads. You're like flaming head. Why are we the flaming heads?
There's flaming lips.
Our heads, yeah, their lips have never been on fire. They just pick some fun words.
They might have a bunch of hot lips.
Yeah.
You don't know these guys.
Come on, man. You know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't pick their names for any other reason than they just think this
Just
sounds
sounds
cool.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
aesthetically cool.
It sounds fun, and I guess it seems to embody the music. I think that's what they're probably after.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So it's got to be darker, like we're the devil's breath.
If that's what they
You know?
make.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't
Taylor
think
Swift
you-
isn't
you know,
Yeah,
about
but
the
if they're
devil's
doing
breath.
kind of like a folksy kind of gentle music, that's a tough
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
somebody out there has got to be somebody out there has to be like completely off. Like
Right,
what
yeah.
they do and what they name their band are like so against each other.
Like they're like, hey, what's up? We're the 17 teen suicides. My birthday was yesterday. It was great. Lighting candles.
Right,
Didn't
yeah, it's
get
like
what I
super
wanted.
upbeat
Right.
stuff with something that sounds negative or
right.
something that sounds really gentle, and then they play like heavy, like noise metal and stuff like that. Like somebody's got to be out there
Yeah.
doing that.
Well, I always thought that the Beach Boys had an issue with that.
Right.
Yeah,
Where it's like they
Bad name.
initially made California surf music.
Yeah.
And then they, went wherever they went.
Yeah.
And then they're the Beach Boys.
Right.
That's their
Yeah.
name. It's kind of a crazy name.
Right.
it is a crazy name.
The Beach Boys.
The Beach Boys.
The Beach Boys is so funny.
Yeah.
Hey, we're a bunch of beach boys. We love
Yeah.
the beach.
And you've seen other Beach Boys.
Right.
We are the Beach
Beach
Boys.
We are
Boys.
the quintessential beach boys.
Do not suffer imitators. Yeah.
Beginning of their shoes, they should have walked on stage and dumped their shoe out, just sand on their shoes. Sorry, always sand in our shoes. You know?
Yeah, they weren't doing enough sand work at all.
No. And then they're like, and then the guy's like, I would kill myself if I wasn't with you. What's that song that he sings? It's like that. It's like,
Yeah, I don't know offhand, but
What
they
is
made
it?
some sad shit.
Yeah.
what's the main song they sing? That's like that beautiful song. It's like,
Oh, God only knows.
God only knows
right.
what I'd be with. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'd be nothing. That's a man at the beach. He's supposed to be having a good time. Guy
The
was gonna
same
kill
people made
himself.
Surfing USA.
Yeah.
It's funny though because this next song is about the wave that got away, and then all of their like poignant, sad songs, they are just about waves.
Right.
Yeah.
They're just that's how they process.
Yeah,
it.
so,
Did they have some about cars?
yeah.
Of course.
But then every time they let that one
Everybody
guy
was
write-
singing about cars. back then.
Everybody was singing
Everybody
about-
was like, I got a song about a car.
I'm sure a record label's like, and your car song,
Yeah.
and your
car
love song,
Right. That's like
Yeah.
your ballad. It's like having like a ballad, a pop hit, a car song.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's funny because they're like every time Terry picks a song, it's like, hey, I'm gonna do my Sun Fun song. What do you got, Jerry? Beach Day, Beach Day. And you, Tommy? And he's like, oh, these shoes are full of crabs. And then Mike, the guitar player, is like, I want to sing about the time my mom came home drunk and beat me mercilessly. And you're like, Terry's songs are always weird,
And
Don't
Ter-
really go
and he
with
get-
the rest of the oeuvre.
But we said everyone gets a song on the album, so we got to do it.
And Terry's like, and I think maybe we should rethink the name of our band based on the new music I'm
Yes.
Yeah,
Doesn't feel very Beach Boy.
yeah, they had some dark. Yeah, that's a great band though, because you come,
Yeah.
you get to see the whole rainbow spectrum.
Yeah, they were a band. As I got older, realized they didn't just make Surfing USA.
Yeah, it took me. Well, that stuff's not for the kids.
Right.
The other songs.
Right.
It's like I remember listening. I was introduced to the Beach Boys when I was like, what, 6?
Yeah.
Like that's
Yes.
when you would start hear like Surfing USA, and like then you're like, oh, what else are they up to? And it's like, oh, I don't even have these emotions yet. I'm not even close to understanding them. So then it takes a few years, and then you're like, that's a good song.
yeah, it's true.
Oh
Yeah.
man, Alex Sweet was crazy.
Alex is,
Oh, the wheat. Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You seem in it's
I
in
feel a little
different
high.
place.
Do you? Yeah, I'm somewhere else.
Yeah, I feel pretty just kind of calm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
Whatever this vibe is, I'm gonna just try to ride it. Don't fight it. Just
Yeah.
ride it.
yeah.
Yeah. When I did Legion of Skanks, I didn't say a single word.
I think that's obviously the best course of action in that crew.
Best case scenario.
Like
man.
best case scenario, you don't talk, and they don't care.
Yeah, I would count that as a real win.
That's a win.
Yeah.
It's a win for Greg.
Well, everyone messaged me and they said, well, you just go to podcasts and don't talk?
I don't know. Sometimes on this one, there's phases of that.
so funny with that. I wouldn't, as a listener, I mean, I guess they're fans of you, so they would be like, "Oh,
They
I
want-
wanted to hear Greg
They
talk."
want yes.
Yeah.
but I don't think I've ever listened to a podcast and go, "That guy didn't talk enough."
Yeah.
But I have been like, that guy talked too much.
I've done that, yeah, for sure. I did the Rad Dudecast for 10 years.
What? Were you didn't talk?
But no, you've
I was
listened.
just making fun of you.
Yeah.
Oh.
But listening sometimes, I'm like, oh, I could use less of this one, more
Yes.
of the others.
Yeah.
Oh,
Get that.
yeah. When I listen to Talktown, I'm like, Greg talks too much. And then every time I sit down in this chair, I can't stop talking.
Well,
There's your gift and curse,
Yeah.
man.
It's fun. You watch the podcast and you go, man, that guy talks too much. Wait, I'm that guy. I can stop that. And then I get here and I go, I can't
no,
stop
you can't.
Yeah,
Can't turn
you,
it off.
You get too excited.
that. I
Yeah.
know, I'm so excited.
No, that's the point of the thing.
Yeah.
We're doing a great job.
Did I tell you got some I got a topic.
Which one?
And I gotta tell you about. Oh man, I got some stories.
All right.
All right, this might
man.
be.
We're here.
All right.
We're here, man.
Stop me if you heard it. It happened I had to open for Jeremy Piven, and his crowds were
Had to is the exact right verb for that position to be in. Like, I had to open for Jeremy Piven. Not got to, not was lucky enough to. Had to.
The club made me anyway, the club is like, hey man, we'll let you host and feature. We'll take care of you. You do the whole thing. I'm like, oh, this ends close. I'm like, all right. Also, it's like, whatever. I've heard things about him that are nuts.
I mean,
but he's fine. Anyway, I don't want to talk about him.
Work is work.
I get off stage, and like there was a lot of people in that crowd. Bros.
Yeah.
Big time. What you think Entourage fans would be like.
Yeah.
It's crazy because
God.
at this point, I mean, they're older. So
Right.
I can't, I guess they're reliving those days.
People still watch it too. That's the
Really?
thing you don't realize. People watch it like The Sopranos.
I can't imagine.
Entourage.
People like to pretend their Sunday night is just like it was in 2005.
Yeah.
Where they go, I watch episode of Sopranos, I watch Entourage. That's how I do it.
I watched Entourage when it was on. I remember watching it, but like I don't think of it as a show I'm like, gotta go back.
Well, you're not a young.
Yeah.
You're not. I mean, there are people who. Anyway.
I mean, I'm sure. I just like can't imagine being that person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have to be out of a lot of stuff.
No,
Yeah.
if you want to believe, you watch Entourage. You gotta believe anymore. And then you go, I want to believe.
Is that what you would always take from Entourage?
Yeah, I always took it as like, oh man, these are some boys from the streets, the Get Along gang, making it big. You know, there's a nobody here. Any minute in Hollywood. I watched Entourage and I was like, I gotta watch this show to prepare for what my career is gonna be like. I swear to God.
Yeah.
I used to be like, when
I
I'm
can
this
see
rich,
that many other men in our industry have done that.
Yeah.
It's not a slight against you. I get why people took that from it, but I don't know a single woman who watched that show and was like, I can't wait to be
well, I watched
verbally abused by these different men.
as a cautionary tale.
And then that's what happened.
But I would watch that show and I go, this way I won't verbally abuse the women. I should know where the classic
Where the line
pitfalls
is.
are. Anyway, a lot of bros in the audience.
Yeah, I bet.
Young bros?
God.
Medium bros, some
Medium
young bros.
bros, okay.
You know,
Imagining the people who love Entourage so much, they go see Jeremy Piven do stand-up.
Those are real
today.
fans. You're
Like
right.
that is a real narrow
Yes.
sliver of the human race.
I don't know, man. I get it. People loved Entourage.
Yeah, no. I mean,
I
it's
love-
just like that's a very specific person.
Yeah.
That's not just like, oh, look at all these. I don't know. It's a lot of guys. Like it feels very specific.
Yeah, because I mean, I loved Entourage,
Yeah.
right? When it was on.
That's
And
what I'm saying.
That's there. To what Livey is saying is that like I wouldn't now. My fandom for Entourage hasn't lasted so long that I'm like, if the Piv comes, I'm going.
No, but you go. Here's the thing: you don't sit there and wake up and go, "What can I do Entourage today?" You know, how am I going to Entourage myself? You don't do that, but you live in Nyack or around Nyack, and you go,
Sure.
"Yo, Jeremy Piven, I fucking loved Entourage. I'm gonna go see Jeremy Piven."
I guess that's what I mean. That amount of I loved it so much, and it's so important to me this many years later. And I know what I'm saying sounds more serious than what you're saying.
Yeah.
But those are real lovers.
No,
Yeah.
but that's the thing. They're not Green Bay Packers fans who are still rooting for Entourage. They're people who go, I loved Entourage. And then the ad is shown to them. And if they see an ad for, you or me, they're like, I don't know the motherfucker. But they go, I know Jeremy Piven. Entourage was great.
Gotcha.
Old School
Yeah.
was great.
Sure.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he's
all
been
right.
PCU. I'm
Yeah,
still a fan of
PCU,
Pete.
yeah.
Oh,
He was
he's
in
done
a
so
lot
many
of
things.
stuff for a while.
Yeah,
I mean, he's in
sure.
an episode of Seinfeld or a whole run. I mean, it's when they do the
Yeah,
pilot.
he had a great career.
We took a turn into another state for literally me just saying there were bros at the show.
I mean, that's what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we're just unpacking stuff.
Yeah, unpack it. I'm not minding. I'm just trying to I was trying to do a joke. So anyway, about the joke. So anyway, bros. So I walk out and these bros approach me. Bro, you were
Walk
so
out like after the show.
after the show. I'm standing outside waiting for people to say thank you. You were great.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
You're like eyeing if the Target's still open.
Yeah. I'm like, is this garbage can full? I'm looking around. I'm like, I don't know. I'm waiting for
Is
people.
this garbage can full?
I'm out there just fishing.
That really tickled me.
You see, I want to be there for people who came to see me or like me,
Yeah.
but I don't want to be there for people I don't want to get a compliment that wasn't deserved. Like I'm not like being like, give me a hug. You loved it. And people go, oh,
I
you
know.
were great. But I'll be there if you're looking for me. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And these bros walk up to me. And this one guy was like, oh, you're so funny. So fun. Mr. Funny Man. Funny Man. Mr. Funny Man. I was like, and I got furious. Like, I was just kind of like, what is this fucking guy doing? I was like,
Right.
I was like, hey, man.
Leave me alone.
Like, what the fuck, man? Like, I get it. You're not a fan, but, you know, you didn't have to come over or whatever. I can't remember exactly what I said, but it was pretty much, it was actually like I snapped. And then the guy next to him went, hey, that's my brother. He is severely autistic. And I immediately saw what I was looking at. And I went, this is not what I thought. And I saw his face and I was like, oh my God. And he was real close. I thought he was in my face because he was like getting in my face.
Yeah.
And my low self-esteem was like, it's one of these motherfuckers. I was getting a bunch of negative comments.
Also, like the more likely situation is
Yes.
that it is an asshole being mean to
Which
you.
always happens.
Like in that scenario.
Totally. Time, place, kind of show.
You're reading context.
Yeah. All the context points the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You weren't
Yes.
wrong for that being your first guess.
Yes.
At all.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, man, I am so
Of course.
fucking sorry. And he was just like, so funny. You know? And I was like, oh, you know, like, I tried to hug him. I shook his hand. You ever shake someone's hand? It feels like their wrist breaks. You know, it's like click, click, click. Like, so I shook his hand. He was like, click, click. I was like, oh. And I was like, not you. It's your whole thing is vibing me out, man. Anyway, I felt really bad about it. I felt really bad that,
Did he feel like he understood, you know, like walked away from it, not feel like I know you felt bad.
truthfully,
Do you think he walked away being like,
I don't think that guy was connected.
okay.
This sounds bad, but I don't know.
You don't think that he noticed that you weren't being nice the first pass around?
Yeah, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I gave him a big hug. I was so like,
Oh, then yeah.
but
That's
then his
a nice
brother was
thing.
like, dude, you're hugging him way too long. And I was like, I know.
God.
I
Feel
wanted to turn it into
bad
a
and
dance.
awful. Yeah.
Well, I said, I wanted to turn this into a dance where I would hug him and then we would just slow dance in the mall. It's so stupid. I thought we would make this into a dance. I don't think you guys are following me. Jesus, if you exist, why do I feel so lonely?
But those are like embarrassing. I remember once I did like a loft show and it was like Jared had organized it. And so everybody was 24. And just like it was all guys and me. It was like Jared, Nori, Nimesh, me. That was the show. So like half the audience was like 24-year-old girls, and they were just like, you talked about nail polish. Oh my God, I'm losing my mind. None of them had seen comedy before. So I like get off stage and I'm like, you have to walk like through the crowd to get to the back of this like giant loft. And like every girl was like, oh my God, you're amazing. Like, oh my God, you're so funny. Oh my God, you're so funny. You're so great. I loved it. And then I like get back, I'm standing with Jared. And this girl comes up and she was like, hi. And I was like, thank you so much. And she was like, is this the bathroom?
Oh, of course.
I was like, ah.
You just said, yeah, point in your face. Here it is.
Shit in my mouth.
End this. This feels terrible. But again, context.
Yeah, I mean, you know how many people
Not
after that show
insane
went,
for me to think that she
No.
was about to compliment me because the last 12 girls that talked to me said something. So
there were so many people after that show who went, you were really funny. You should keep going. That is the.
that's
I
always
get
a
that.
brutal one.
I get that 3 out of 5 times people talk to me. You should keep going.
3 out of 5.
And I go, I'm 43.
That's what's, that comment
I
gets
went.
way tougher when you're looking at age.
Yeah.
You
right.
know, that's fine, 20s, 30s. But
Sure.
when you see me,
Yeah.
you see everything
My
that
gray
this
hair
is,
and my
and go, I really think it's going to happen. It's
Right.
like, would have happened.
Yeah.
Now,
Right.
just for me.
Right.
Yeah. This is more of a hobby some days.
They should
And
come to me and be
that's okay.
They should be like, hey, man, that guy was, I was like, you were really funny. It was worth it. They should just look me in the eye and go, it was worth it, man.
Let's
you went
teach
through.
audiences how to talk to us at this
this
age phase.
Yeah, I think if you want to compliment a 40, high 30s comedian, you go, I know you probably think you made all the wrong choices,
Right.
but tonight you made the right one. If it was only
wow.
for this night,
Yeah.
you made the right ones.
Yeah.
If they just stopped you and, hey, man, you were so funny. Your whole life wasn't for nothing.
God, that would feel so good.
It's like, thank you.
Yeah. That is really, you
Yeah.
need a different caliber of compliment as you age in
Yes.
this and haven't reached the level
Yeah.
that you both know.
Yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah. Dude, that last bit was killer, but your kids not having money growing up isn't going to change who they are.
Yeah.
Okay. Like to me,
if anything, and then they go, and I don't know if you're familiar with Ethel Cain.
Yeah.
But these trans artists, it sometimes is you got to step on someone's knee a little bit to make good music.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So then that happened. That's the end of that story. I guess that is that the end of that story.
You said you had a topic.
I have so many topics.
Yeah, you mentioned small claims court.
Yeah, smaller claims
Claims court.
which is so good.
Smaller
We will-
claims court.
I am already 100% in
That's
on
great.
Talktown having smaller claims court.
Yeah, smaller claims court is exactly what it says. Is you're taking much smaller claims. Like if someone was just being a bitch.
What about
it's
like I'm at a restaurant and we agree to split everything and
Yes.
somebody eats more and I'm still hungry?
smaller claims court. That's exactly the case for that. And now people are going to say, well, who the fuck is going to want to fill a jury? Here's the thing: you opt in, right? If you're a person who believes in smaller claims court.
I'll sit in smaller. Are you kidding? I'd go right now.
Yes.
That is my dream job.
Yeah.
I know. Also, too, for smaller claims court, I would imagine something like that. I think that's a good. If you're a single person, I think that's actually a good place to meet someone.
Yeah, and they push that too.
100%.
The
Right.
smaller claims court. We also have cocktails at the end. And
Oh, I love that.
Wear
It is kind of a
something
mixer
skimpy.
for the most psychotic people who are still single.
Yeah, there a lot there. The end of Greg's thing, he said, and wear something skimpy. He always takes it to such a disgusting
Could
place.
have stopped at a cocktails.
Because it's a small. It's also the big positive.
Yeah.
is that it's
We offer
Also,
It's also
smaller
a club
clothes
vibe.
court.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also if you're being sued in smaller claims and you look over and it's just a bunch of just like slutty looking people, men and women, it's like that adds to it.
That's
it.
fun.
That's
No
true.
one's taking it too seriously.
Yeah.
Everyone's a little horny.
Yeah.
I'm in.
This guy's like,
does.
yeah, whatever. We gotta go home. It's like
This lady and I both agree on how much you should pay a toll booth worker.
Yeah.
We gotta like, we're like
What they
whatever.
do, where the lighting, I think, is like a nightclub. And then
Yeah.
once the verdict is reached, the lights turn off.
Last call.
Yeah, and it really is like a last call sort of situation.
court. They have cocktail waitresses walking around.
There's no gavel. It's like beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. The judge could have theme music. So he comes out and he takes little DJ breaks.
We've really turned this into something else, but
Yeah.
it is a good place to meet someone.
Yeah.
I want to go back to that.
And I think, wherever the jury is sectioned off to in the court, it's just a velvet rope.
Yes,
I
obviously.
think it should be
Of
much
course.
like a
Of course it's a velvet
as it
rope.
should
Of
be.
course.
Yeah.
Right this way, Your Honor, or you're judging whatever the fucking little
You're
guy's
judging
called.
You're
us.
judginess. You're judginess.
I'm sorry, you shouldn't have stopped that. Your judginess
Yes.
is so much
Right,
better
you're
So
judginess.
good.
than Your Honor, because fuck them. They should be taken down a peg or two.
Yeah.
Don't call them if this is talk down courts, it's your judginess.
Yeah, 100%.
If
All
you
the
want
courts
that
at
job-
every level.
Yes.
Yep. You got to deal with
Supreme
that.
Court,
Yep.
you're judginess.
I'll say this: the lawyers for their cross-examination get to pick theme music, right? So you're like, all right, I'm
Yeah.
gonna cross-examine someone. You
Do you
put the
mean-
music. It's like
That plays when they start or underneath the entire
so
questioning or
we're
argument.
talking to a woman who's been frowned upon, who's been through a bad life. He can also press. He can, he's got this woman. This is like she's on a
Hang on.
stand.
Hold on one second. Unpack what you see when you think of this woman who's been frowned upon.
For having a bad life.
Frowned upon by life. Life,
frowned upon by life.
was-
Okay.
life is mean. Life looked at her and went, "I'm gonna fuck
But
your
what's
ass
her
up."
claim?
Well, no, she's a witness.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Then the constables. What are they called?
Lawyers?
Definitely not the
lawyers.
constables.
Nope.
I mean, I look,
Maybe in smaller
but
claims.
I think in
Constables.
smaller
No
claims
lawyers,
court,
constables.
fine, but you're able to call them constables.
Yeah.
Take these people down. If they
Yeah.
want this job and it pays.
No.
Hang on for 1 second.
Yes. Yeah. You're right.
Let Anthony be on his.
ready.
We might not get more energy
excited.
from him later in the episode.
No, keep going.
So what I'm saying is those jobs pay more, right? So since they pay more, you're allowed to shit on these people because poor people,
Okay.
they're angrier. So they can get some of that anger out on these people by calling them your judginess and your constable. I think it's a big thing.
So
I am curious
agree.
what you were trying to say when we got to constable, though.
Yeah, I want to go back
I'm going
to
to
that. I
add
just
to
wanted
this. Yes, what you're saying. To add to it, you do not need to pass the bar. Okay, if you are a constable and you're getting paid for in smaller claims court, you don't have to pass the bar. So I could be your lawyer. You could be my lawyer. Anybody could be anybody's lawyer.
Okay.
You know, because it's more fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the theme song thing is like, now imagine you have you're cross-examining someone and you're trying to get sympathy. You could play Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper, right?
I
It's changing
see.
the energy
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
room.
I see.
Right?
So you can manipulate whoever is on the stand using whatever measure you want.
But
Are you trying to manipulate the person on the stand or the jury that's watching this?
Well, you're trying to get the jury to have more emotion by playing,
Yes.
the National or
Right.
something. You know,
Okay, so you're
it's the
trying
jury.
to you're
you're
affect
like, tell me
the
about your
jury.
day, Deborah, and she's like,
Yeah.
well, Barney walked in, and it's like, today you were away. You know, it's getting real sad. I'm not here. And she's like, and he was
Boney
late
Bear.
with my McDonald's. No one asked me about today. You know, like that would be a thing.
Yeah.
But a judge with points can overthrow the song and play his own song. So if I'm cross-examining someone, right, and I'm like, this is Barney, he's a good, loyal man, right? And then the other judge goes, nope, I override his song. And he's like, like, I'm a fat piece of shit. He can play music to change the mood. People can manipulate the moods. Are you guys following me, man? Think of it like an Instagram reel. When you watch someone, they play music behind it.
I see.
It adds to the tone. Right.
I see. So yeah, okay. So then you have the jury, because I feel like a problem that's a good jumping off point for two people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like two single people, you can talk about something.
Yeah, and
You know
it's
what I mean?
and it's like you get to know right then how that person you're talking to feels about this kind of annoyance. So like if
Right.
it is like, oh, we ordered a pizza, we were going to share it. He ate 4 pieces and I only got 2, but I actually wanted all 3 of them. And then you're talking about the case with another single person. You're like,
Yes.
I mean, I would think it's unfair. And they're like, I also think it's unfair. And that if you're splitting stuff, you split. Like, then you're like, we can share a pizza.
Yeah.
You're gonna fall in love immediately.
Immediately.
You know core
or
values.
you'll immediately be like, we're this isn't happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like if somebody's like, no, I think it's fair. If he wants to eat more pizza, he can have more pizza. I'd be like, I don't.
So do you have
agree.
to be single to be in a jury?
Yes.
Yes.
Or really? You can't just be like, now here's the thing. I'm gonna open it up so that husbands can cheat without like, I just gotta go to court.
You're always looking for some loopholes.
Right. Oh, okay. all
Why
right.
don't we just not have marriages and talked out if it's going to be constantly trying to get out of them?
Yeah, we should.
It's true.
Trying to get out
We
of
have
marriage.
a lot of businesses and enterprises set up that are for husbands to be okay with cheating.
Well, I wonder who those are all brought up by.
Wasn't me?
Yeah, maybe I should talk to somebody. No, my marriage.
No, I don't think you have to be single, but I think it first
No, you should be single. That's
first
great.
pass goes to singles, and if we have to fill in the jury with
Yeah.
other interested parties,
It's a more elevated way to have a first date.
yeah, it's basic. Like smaller claims court is more for meeting people on the jury than it is for kind of
Figuring
Hashing
these-
out the claim.
yeah.
I would say that some.
That's the only way I think I would like to meet somebody.
Better than a bar. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? That's way better than a bar.
I agree.
I will say some cases are going to go the wrong way because people are too horny and too drunk.
It's fine. That's all
drunk.
a part of it. Yeah, they're drunk.
They're drunk. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Okay. all
But
right.
you know that going in, if you're going to a smaller claims court to
It's a
settle
risk.
a dispute, it is a risk because of whoever might be in the jury.
Okay.
Yes.
That's one layer.
Okay.
I want to put that over here
Okay.
because I want to break up some other pieces of smaller claims court.
I would love to.
because I think there are things here that are very serious, right? Like what kind of cases are we bringing to smaller claims court, right? And I would like to start with like, man, I lost my receipt at Target or something, and then they're like, well, we know you did. Like when someone's just being a dick at Target, I'm not going to sue you, but you need to
Right.
do my return. Or
Right.
also petty bitchiness, like AT&T's fucking me over.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I don't want to pay. I can't sue you for $6 off a month, but they fuck you. They
Right.
fuck you on your bill.
Right. And then even just calling them, you lose the time to complain.
Right.
It's like, well, I'd rather go be at this weird legal nightclub
Right.
than be on the phone with an AT&T customer service rep.
Yeah.
A thing that's been annoying me lately, and it happened on my walk here, is when you're waiting at a sidewalk or at a crosswalk, and you're like, I walked up to the edge and I'm going to stand here until this changes. And then somebody walks from behind you and then gets in front of you and waits in front of you.
weird.
Get out of my space.
Right.
I will take those people to smaller claims court every fucking time.
That's a great smaller claim.
Like, I don't know what I want from you, but I want you to know you're wrong.
No, you can slap him in the face.
Okay.
You can sue, like, I'm going to sue you. I get to
just wanna
smack
hit you
in the
once.
face. Once. That guy can't hit back.
Open
It's not
hand.
assault. Right. The guy deserves a fucking smack in the face.
So wait, that initial slap in the face is how how you know that you're about to be taking a smaller claims court?
Oh.
Is that what you're saying?
That feels
this-
like a duel.
This is the thing I want.
And we've already got our erotic duel.
For sure. Of course.
I forget what they're for.
Yeah,
but
we can't have everyone dueling on the streets for all different reasons.
No, but I like if somebody did that, I'd be like, I'm taking you to smaller claims court.
Okay,
We'd
just
go,
tell
and
them.
what I'm suing you for is the right to hit you once. I don't need like a financial restitution. I just want to be like,
Yeah.
stand
I'll tell you
behind
what,
me.
man.
Or you owe me a coffee. You owe me a fucking coffee, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
okay.
But here's the thing. This is how I actually pre-thought about this. There's an app we have, right?
What's
so
a pre-thought?
I think about something before I think about it.
Which is an impossibility.
Yeah. Objectively, not a thing.
No, I'll get an idea and I go, you know what? I'm going to think about that later. And then but here's what I got now, and then that's the pre-thoughts. But later when I really think about this, I'll put it all together.
It's kind of like preheating the oven.
Yeah. We just.
Nothing in it yet, but it's getting ready.
I write it down, A lot of people think that having the ability to think at the speed of light, that you could just get to it. But I go, no, I'm not going to think about this right now. I'm going to think about this later. So anyway, I was pre-thinking about how this app would work. So like you cut me in line, right? So you cut me in line. I hit the app and I go, you could type it or I do voice text because I'm a boomer. I go, hey Siri, this motherfucker just caught me walking my phone, blah, blah. Here's a picture, here's a video. And then you can tap to pay him and he gets an alert that goes, you got to go to small claims court. It happens that fast.
Seems like a lot of steps somehow.
No, it's one
I
step.
got lost.
No, you.
In so many
I
steps.
think I see what you
If a
mean.
thing happens,
if a
you
thing
say it in your
happens,
phone.
you
put it in an app.
happens in the moment, and like it's not like they get a letter 6 weeks from now. It's like they get an alert on their phone instantly because you pull out your phone
Yeah.
to be like small claims court this person.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
That
great.
okay. Yeah.
And the guy could respond and go, I'd like to get this now. And he could just turn around and go, I saw what I did. And I'll get you a
yeah.
coffee.
Yeah,
That
you
was an
get
act.
you get a first chance at reconciliation before
Yeah.
you go to court, but it has to happen immediately,
Yeah.
and you have to offer it.
Yeah, there's a time clock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You count
Oh,
you
the
down.
hat turns on.
Yeah, that turns on it.
The ticker on the hat goes.
If you don't get it done by then, you're in court.
Yeah.
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 Love that.
It could, he could turn around and go, I know what I did. I don't give a fuck. I'm having a bad day. I'll see you in court. He's just so
Sure.
mad that he's like, I'm going to be mean today.
Who presides over smaller claims court? Because like we know who the jury is because it's singles
Right.
who have some time on their hands.
This is bad.
And then the lawyers, you can appoint whoever you want.
Mm-hmm.
But like who's up there running the show? Like is that somebody that is like a government? Like are we putting someone there? Is there a test you have to pass to get that? Is it a lifetime appointment?
We have to pause. And we have to, before we get to exactly what you're saying, we need to fix something. It can't just be singles who are judging. Here's why. You do not want horny singles judging anything. They're also people who have not a lot of experience, right?
In
They're
what?
Not your No, it's like someone might okay, so your classic case thing in court is someone on your flight put their headrest down or whatever, and someone's suing. Right? A young person might be who's never flown isn't gonna be like, no, that's all rude. They don't know. Or they might be all the people with kids are gonna get sued because those people don't know what it's like to have kids or singles. Right?
But
it's okay. I have a
they
quick
don't
fix.
just- okay.
I have a quick fix. It's fine. You have 8 singles, then you have a source of 8 not singles. So you have 2 juries. And so you also get to see the delegates from single land will say yay, and the old parents who are just trying to get out of the house also say yay. You've won
this
both
is why
sides
I'm
of the
saying,
court.
like you get the singles and then like there's some spillover that you're gonna have to fill in and anybody can hop into those.
It's like the House and the Senate.
Yeah.
It's got to
all
pass
right,
in the
you know
House and the
what?
Senate.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's
House
fine
and
what I
Senate.
meant.
Works for
That's the
me,
only
man.
thing. Yeah,
Gorgeous.
So sorry. Now, who presides?
Yeah.
I got you back on track.
What?
I took us off the road.
I know.
Put us
You
right back on the
are
highway.
driving this car flawlessly.
Who presides over
Smaller
smaller claims court?
I almost want it to be a celebrity.
Fun.
Not to
Yeah.
take it too much into like the world of like real world TV court stuff, but like someone who people like do respect, but not legally.
I'll argue this. Yes, and also possibly the judge is a special guest. They don't have to be a celebrity, but they can be someone who like, this guy caught the foul ball at Yankee Stadium. He won. Here's the thing. I want it to be like, it doesn't just have to be for movies. Like, I think any kind of celebrity.
But it could also be someone, like a ringer. It could be someone where it's like, you have to do a year of service in this role if you were a citizen of Talktown.
I know, but I like the idea of having a celebrity because then the singles could go, hey, did you get to talk to Tony Danza yet?
Right. Yeah, that's fun. And that's another element of making it fun for people who are there.
Yeah, I think it's like also if we're offering this, if you're a celebrity, you're on the road, you know what I mean? You're doing stuff.
Yeah.
What a great incentive to get people to perform in Talktown.
Well,
if you're like, hey, they do this thing while you're there. Isn't that everyone's dream?
Oh.
To just preside over like small, life indiscretion kind of claims?
Yeah,
absolutely.
you're booked at like a Zanies, and it's like,
Exactly.
instead of doing morning radio, you get to go watch a bunch of people argue at a nightclub, kind of.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
I'd be so in.
Oh, yeah. And then
I'd work at a deficit. I already work at a deficit. But
well, you
like,
get paid. I
yeah.
think you get paid.
Yeah, you'd get paid.
I think you get paid a couple $100 or
Yeah.
whatever it is. We saw you're going to be in town. You're doing 6 shows at the Talktown Comedy Club, whatever it is. Here's our offer.
TTCC.
Yeah, we offer this to everybody, and yeah, I think I would.
Yes,
I would be
All right.
so happy to.
So it's just rotating celebrities for whoever
Yes.
happens to be coming through town, or is available, or is
Is in a
shooting
neighboring
a
town.
movie
Totally.
in our town, because we're gonna have pretty good tax credits for that.
2 major points.
Yeah, good thing we should get into.
We pay those people. We're able to pay those
'Cause I get
people. We're able to pay those people because we sell tickets. So it's all. So it's also the court is happening, but we could do
there's
an
people
arena.
that go and watch court.
Right, but we're selling it too in the
Yeah.
fact that we have a celebrity judge.
Hey, man.
And we're like, hey, Thursday, Paula Poundstone is hosting, and look what's on the
God
docket. It's like
damn,
a
I'm
guy
so
who,
mad this doesn't exist right now.
a guy who cursed a lady at Starbucks. And like we give you the lineup of the
yeah.
cases.
Yeah,
And you're like, hey,
wow.
all right, that's good. We sell those tickets with the money. We give some of the money goes to jury, some of the money goes to the celebrity judge. And I do want to bring this in. And now this is a very high thought, but I do want to say it. After each side makes a point, right? The judge's job is to give them a stone, right? So so if someone goes, you weren't there on the 3rd. We have 5 witnesses that say you weren't there. And everyone's like, fuck, he wasn't there. And the judge goes, give him a stone, right? And they put a stone in their glass, a jar, a big jar. And then every time the defense goes, actually, he wasn't there because he was on the phone. They go, oh, he's right. Give him a stone. And then when it's over, whoever has the most stones wins the case.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just something I wanted.
All right, man.
That wasn't
sounds
Works for
awesome.
me.
That was just a thing I wanted. I
Great.
want to use this old school stone thing.
Yeah.
It's like, he's, only 36 stones. You know what I mean?
I've never seen. You said old school. I've never seen the stone
Yeah,
method.
It feels medieval.
It feels
It does.
medieval.
like you'd give a stone to the rightful heir.
totally bad.
Right.
Well, it's like how at coffee shops and places sometimes they'll have 2 tip jars, and it's like, for 2, like the 2 American Idol finalists.
Yeah,
and
they'll
they're
be like bone cancer or blood cancer.
yeah.
and you're like, oh, I don't know, blood. Like,
Yeah.
But there's always like keeping tabs on people. That's like a fun thing to get more tips.
And like
Yeah.
I think.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, I think.
I don't
Yeah.
quite get, like, I'm never like, gotta vote for this. Here's $1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm always
It's not
kinda
tricking me, but
weirdly put off by it.
yeah, I'm annoyed.
Where they're like Jar Jar Binks or Obi-Wan.
And you're like, if there was only one tip jar, I would have left you money.
Yeah. Just this whole proposition has made me not want to tip.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
and
make
you're-
me
you're-
also vote.
And you're forcing me to show you a piece of my personality that maybe I don't want.
I like moving through the world more anonymously.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I do like at a coffee shop, sometimes they'll have a guest book. I love thumbing through the guest book.
You mean a wedding? you're
have it both.
You're getting coffee at weddings.
Cedar Bean has a guest book that says, say hello or write a poem.
Right.
I write a poem every single time I show up.
Right.
They should publish that.
And I think people are, and I didn't tell you about how I got, I didn't, okay. At some point at the end, I need to talk about why I'm not allowed to do poetry at a certain open mic anymore. That
I
being
can't
said, we
wait
can
to
end
hear
on that.
this.
I mean, you might. Where are we at, Alex?
right,
But I want to make sure we have smaller claims court.
let's tie up any loose ends on smaller claims court and then get into this because I want to hear it and I want to give it as much space as it could use.
It's not going to need much.
I think it might.
It's not going to need much.
Yeah, I think it might too.
It might. I'm going to have questions.
Yeah.
So are you.
Also, are we doing 2 or are we doing 1?
Let's talk after 1.
Sounds great.
Because that's not information we need to know right now.
Okay.
If you think about it.
That is none of our business.
We can handle that.
Okay, so smaller claims court. We've got a celebrity comes through town. We're posting the lineup of like what's on the docket.
Yeah.
We've got singles and some non-singles, House and Senate style, nightclub, velvet rope. People can buy tickets. Stones.
Music.
This also-
Music. There's a lot of music cues.
Music cues. This thing is like the producers.
I'll say this. This part of this, look, this is something great for our town. This also could be a TV show. We could make smaller claims a TV show.
Oh, actually.
Wait,
Yeah.
put a pin in
We
that.
incorporate every single thing we just said.
Yeah.
That is a TV show.
It's singled out meets Judge Judy meets SNL.
And a bunch of old Stones.
It's true, man.
We're doing the Stones thing. But I
People
walk.
love judge shows. And a
It's
lot of
true.
people are single. It's really, it's got it all.
Am I the asshole? Reddit is pretty much mixed in there.
we actually should talk off after this
Yeah.
about this.
I get the most money
Sure.
because I'm the one who said it.
Yeah, man.
Sounds good, man.
Don't care
You
anymore.
have the most problems. The
Yeah.
guy with the most problems gets
Gets
the
the
most
most money.
money. I don't have no problems with that.
I do want to throw one part in about smaller claims court real quick. If
Yeah.
that's okay. Sorry. Because I like the idea of
There's
the
no
Stones.
rush.
Yeah.
Okay. I love
We
the
got
idea
plenty
this-
of time.
Because then, like when the judge is like, you're out, he's like, sit down, counselor, sit down. But this guy's too impassioned, and he's like, no, I won't sit down because your honor, he's getting fucked, blah, 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 and I won't stand for injustice. And then he goes over to the prosecutor's table and he goes, and here's your fucking stone. And he pops it down and he walks by. It's a way to make a real scene.
Yeah, I mean, the more dramatic, the better. I am in.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that was that.
What are you saying, Lab?
Anything else that's not covered? Like So what?
Also, this is just kind of Jerry Springer.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But it's not.
But
I mean,
it's not.
It's not.
It's
but
not.
it's borrowing a little bit from there,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
great.
It has the same,
Yeah.
I love the idea of
ethos.
going to ABC and being like, no, the juries all have to be wearing skimpy outfits.
It's a velvet rope.
It's a velvet rope. They're looking to fuck.
So, all right, we know how cases are kind of decided. What are you like? Is it up to you? Like, if you bring somebody to smaller claims court, are you deciding what the penalty is, or is it kind of always more up to the judge? And if you say I bring the walking guy to smaller claims court, I'm like, why'd you get in front of me? This is the way traffic moves. You should buy me a coffee. Somehow judge rules against me. Mm-hmm. Do I have to buy him a coffee, or is there like a different thing?
I think it's just the embarrassment.
Yeah, losing is enough.
Yeah.
But it's like regular court where sometimes they'll go, no, you don't win. It's fine. But they might go, and also actually, you owe him a slap. Like I've seen Judge Judy be like, actually, we're looking at the
You were in
points
the
here.
wrong.
You were way more in the wrong here. Right. So they go,
Okay.
okay, boy, it could just be like, no, you don't win, man. You don't win.
So
But
that's-
what you win is up to whoever takes somebody else to small claims court.
Yeah.
I like that.
And that's always reciprocal actions always on the table. And I
Yeah.
think those are the
Yes,
stakes
okay.
of taking someone to smaller claims court.
Yeah.
Is like, hey, this could just go, you could just lose, or it could go real south and you owe them a coffee.
Yeah.
So
Right.
also think about your punishment,
This
because
is-
that's coming back on you
Yeah.
potentially.
This is a way to keep it kind of humane.
Yeah.
But you don't want people to be afraid to take someone to smaller claims court. You want people to be like, you want people to be like, no, I wrong me. Because I'm like, I'm afraid that I'll go there. I'm already shy. It'll be hard.
Yeah, but you don't want a world where you're just like, I think that was an indignity on me. Like, then you have everyone
Yeah.
going to smaller
People,
claims
it'd
court.
be overrun.
Yeah,
like
you
you
sure.
need people that
Man.
believe, like,
We're-
I believe in myself so much that what I want is I want this person to buy me a coffee because I think they owe me a coffee, but I'm also willing to buy them a coffee if the world turns on me.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. If there's a guy who's like Larry David, just constantly taking everybody to smaller claims court, he'll become a series regular.
There are going to be
And,
regulars.
of course. And people are going to be like,
it's going to happen no
That's
matter
good
what.
and that's going to come
man.
into play. People are going to be like, look, he does this a lot. It's fine. So we don't take it as seriously with him.
Fine,
You know
but
what I mean?
I'm just telling you, that line.
Maybe you only get a certain amount of stones for the year.
That's okay.
You know?
I'm just saying that line that you could do whatever you want to do. It has to be reined in a little bit, or else that line is going to be out the door.
Yeah.
Well, I would say maybe, okay, like I'm serious about the stones thing. Maybe you only get 30 stones a year.
Fine.
You know?
We could have some kind of like punch card situation, and it's like if you've been here enough, especially if you're not winning.
You get a free
But
claim.
I do think that this happens. But here's the thing.
You're done for the year, but you can come first next year.
We have that in the court system today. People doing whatever, and it works. I mean, it's fine. I think it works. I think the system there already works.
The stone
people
system?
are going to try. No. I think that it's like people are already. I think that that'll work itself out because if there's people continually doing it,
Yeah, but I guess the penalty. I mean,
there's no penalty now. Is what I'm saying.
Well, you have to hire a lawyer.
Yeah, you have
like,
to pay to sue someone.
Yeah, you have to be like, is this righteous enough for me to potentially be bankrupt over?
Yeah.
And you're not looking for a TV credit.
Right. Yeah.
correct.
You know,
Right.
You're like, yeah. All right. I like all
All right.
that.
I love smaller claims court.
Yeah, it's great.
Everything about it is great. This was
Yeah.
a good Talktown thing.
Gay court is just here, just us three.
I think gay court is more the founding fathers. Like that's
Yeah.
just us deciding.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, gay court. I think it's just like a conversation.
Yeah. It's just asking us our opinions.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it is. Yeah.
I will say we could sell the TV show of Gay Court where it's like where gay men solve gay problems all day. It's Gay Court where everyone's gay. That's kind of a fun show. You might think it's easy.
probably.
I would watch it.
Do smaller claims court first,
Yeah,
and then from
see.
the folks that brought you that, come
Then
gay
that's
court.
That's what I'm saying.
Gay court
No, I
on
said we
logo.
walk into the office and we say we have smaller claims court ready to go, and they're gonna go and also, when they're like, "Could you please leave?" We go, "What about Gay Court?" After they're throwing us out. All right.
I want to hear why you can't do poetry
Oh yeah.
somewhere.
I didn't. So there's a couple coffee shops by my house, and I go to one
New Jersey.
In New Jersey.
Oh God! So this like just happened.
No, this happened very recently.
Yeah.
Very, very recently. Recently enough that it's not funny. I don't know if it's funny yet, and I might be wrong.
But here's the thing: so many things happen in Greg's day.
Yeah.
This might be 8 days ago, but this is 50
lifetime.
stories ago.
Yeah. So I go in. I'm like, I'm gonna do this open mic. There's an open mic by my house that I'm afraid to do. So I was like, let me do this other one first to
Yeah.
see how.
Put a little distance.
Yeah, put a little distance because I don't want to whatever. But it's still close enough that I go there 2 times a week, which is a lot. The waitress, they're all nice, and I'm like, so what can we do with this? Not the waitress, the men who work the counter, the countermen. Yeah,
Just the way you
I
said
don't know. What everyone's
it's
laughing at.
really funny.
Yeah. So I was like, what can I do with this open mic? And the guy was like, anything. And I was like, anything? And he was like, yeah, I mean, anything. And I was like, anything? He's like, yeah, man, anything. And I was like, so you're saying anything? Okay. No.
And what are the waitresses doing at this point?
Yeah.
Being nice.
Yeah. They're like, there's a guy behind me being like, dude, I want to get my coffee and go home. And I'm going, anything? And he's going, yeah, I mean, not that. All right. So say not that. So say not that. Bill, you can
Sure.
do anything, but you not that.
Very meatloaf.
Yeah. So anyway, I was like, I'm going to read my poetry. So I'm doing my poems.
That
right?
feels within the bounds.
Yeah, but I think what I picked wasn't the right one. So I go on and I was like, all right, I just want to I even made a warning. I said, I want to make everyone know this poem is a little more vulgar than some people may like, but it is something I wrote.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
How many people are there?
12.
Did you
about.
ask this? Was this encounter right before it started, or was this earlier in the day and then you came back?
No. Oh, the anything?
Yeah.
That was early in the day and I came back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are most people doing at this open mic? Like, is it like a lot of music, or is
no.
it a lot of comedy?
Oh, no comedy. All
Oh,
music.
A dream.
All comedy. I mean, all
music.
All music and a lot of poetry.
Okay.
Which
okay.
was
all right,
like-
so you're
Okay.
within the confines.
Yeah,
of-
this is what I want. Yeah, if you
Yeah,
were like
which made it
way out
weirder.
on. I mean, you're on a limb, but
So I was like,
Yeah, no one usually introduces their poem by going, "This will be incredibly vulgar."
yeah, that feels
no,
pretty new.
I said, if you are not someone who likes to hear these kind of words, I was very serious. I was like and I was standing outside pacing before I did this. I was like, really trying to put myself in the energy of like, all right, you're gonna read somebody's poems.
What time of day is this?
The sun was still out.
I just want the full scene.
Yeah, I was like 2 on the list too. Like it was like
it starts at 4. It's 4:06.
yeah.
It
wasn't whatever. So I'm like, all right. So I go, this poem is and maybe I gave it too much setup, And I said, Anthony, you have heard this poem before, so you'll know it. But I was like, this poem is a little vulgar, but it is something I thought of, and I don't think that thoughts are cancer, so I think you need to spread them. They're just words. But I said some shit. I don't know. I wasn't that high, but I said some shit.
I don't think thoughts are cancer, so you should spread them.
Spread
Very
the words.
cool.
Yeah, and I said, well, this is about a story about a guy who runs a college frat party, and he's really excited because he's new to the frat. He's probably on this party, and everybody showed up. But then the other frat house, at the rival frat house, they all masturbated in the food, and the guy doesn't want the party to end. He doesn't want the party to end, but he does want people to make people aware. But he's also worried he'll offend people. So he has to go to everyone and go, hey, I want to let everyone know this is what's going on. And this poem is about that. It's called The Cream Cheese Is Cum. Yeah. I know it by heart, so I'll just say it.
Yeah, just say
I'm
it.
going to try to remember it.
Also, we'll never have known.
Yeah.
Right.
It could be a whole new poem.
The cream cheese, and I did this poem. And I'm like looking at people. And they're like, what is this guy going to do? I was very serious.
What's the general makeup of this audience? How many people are there? Men, women, old, young?
Mostly women, a lot of older people.
Okay.
Old hippies that are in a red area. So they come to this open mic, possibly as a solace.
All right, so this is like a safe space
This
for
is a
them.
very safe space.
They're even here now.
Yeah.
Right. And I looked at them and I went, this is not gonna go well.
Amazing.
And I went, do another one. Do one of your other funny ones. And
You
I
have
went,
so many good poems.
or do your heralded stand-up.
yeah.
Then you're a working comedian.
Yeah, what you get paid to do.
You want to bail you out, you could also do your job.
Yep.
And I was
Just
like,
work out one new bit. It's productive.
So I'm doing it. So I was like, I'm doing it. So I'm looking at these people and I'm like, all right. And in my head, I'm laughing. And so I'm like, the cream cheese is cum. Don't eat it or eat it. I don't know what kind of party you're looking to be at, but if the kind of party is you eat cum, then eat that bagel because the cream cheese is cum. At this point, people are going, what the fuck is he saying? And then I go, gotta keep going. Eat it, bitch. JK, you're not a bitch. The cream cheese is cum. And then it goes on. The cream cheese is cum. Don't eat it or eat it. I don't know, Con, you have a party you're looking to be at. But if that kind of party is you eat cum, well, then eat that bagel because the cream cheese is cum. Eat it, bitch. JK, you're not a bitch. But the cream cheese is cum. This is no dream cheese. The cream cheese is actual cum. So you can leave. Or you can stay. But it's all based on the opinion of how you feel about cum. And everyone was mad. Every single person in the room was like, what the fuck? What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that, man? That wasn't good. Like, it wasn't, And the owner came up to me and he went, hey man, I don't want you to do that here. And, I had my phone on and he was like, because I was trying to record it, and he was like, I'm not trying to do some kind of like prank stuff here or some like TikTok stuff. He was like, if you could just delete that, I really don't like want my name on that, and I don't think you can come. And I was like, look, man, this is my art, And I was like, I am a comedian, yes, but this is something that it is to be funny and it's all whatever. And he was like, yeah, I don't know, man. You can't do that here.
Aren't you glad you went to one further away from your house to do that?
Yeah, and everyone was looking at me like, and I didn't even think it was that vulgar. I was like, man, maybe it's not that funny, but I was like, it's not enough to get this response.
To me, it's like once you hear what it is, you're like, oh, it's this. I don't like this. But it doesn't go further and like scandalize you more.
Right.
Like, it's just kind of like, I don't know. This is it.
I will
I don't like it. Maybe like next time, try not to say come so much. But I don't
that
think
takes
think it's
away.
enough. No, I'm
That
saying
takes away from the point I'm trying to make. It's come.
No, I'm trying to say from the perspective of the owner of the coffee shop.
Yeah.
They might be like, oh, okay, hey, maybe next time, like, let's just not use that kind of that kind of language if you want to do poetry.
Maybe don't point to our customers and call them bitches.
Yeah. JK, you're not a bitch.
For sure.
Well, yeah.
But he kept saying, like, it's just like he was, and I'm like, no, the point I'm trying to make is that like a very vile thing has happened. But maybe people in the world are okay with the vile thing. Or maybe we're becoming too sensitive about who we're asking if they like things. Maybe it's okay to walk around a party and be like, hey man, there's cum in the cream cheese. You don't have to be like, but if you like cum, I'm not mad. Like, are we becoming too soft? Because a vile thing has happened. A bunch of men came and ejaculated into the bagels. And now those bagels are circulating. But we're all here to have a good time. So I got to do my due diligence, which is let everyone know that this is no dream cheese. The cream cheese is actual cum.
Right.
Right.
And then some ladies yapping, just eat it, bitch. Sorry. I lost my mind. You're not a bitch. But again.
I love this kind of peek behind
Yeah.
that we're getting.
Do you see?
I see. I'm just saying the owner of the coffee shop is like, hey, bro, we sell bagels with cream cheese.
Yeah. Right. You could have, like, if it was about kind of a bechamel lasagna, an Alfredo sauce, then it would have been a little less tied to kind of what's going on in the moment at the cafe.
There are people eating bagels with cream cheese as you're telling them the cream cheese has come.
They 100% sell bagels there.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. It's a coffee shop.
That I did not realize the implications of how what you're saying isn't even a bit. I do think that may have been something to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just like,
Yeah.
you just cut off a chunk of my revenue stream
No one's going to eat bagels here
with
anymore.
your dumb party poem.
Yeah, I shit in the coffee, man.
Yeah.
Like, you can't say that. The owner of this place, it sounds like you're giving a warning to the people in the crowd.
Yeah. Right. Like you're getting up and being like, this just happened.
I
Yeah.
will say though, complimentary on his end to think you might be young enough where it could be a prank
Yeah.
or TikTok.
Yeah. That's cool.
Thing, because that's always a young.
That's a 19-year-old's game.
That's a public prank is a 19-year-old's game. That's
Yeah.
a young man's move.
He looked at me like,
cool.
this 45-year-old guy trying to become an Instagram influencer by talking about cum at my open mic. I'll say this too. The other poets, not that much better.
Sure.
Well,
would
yeah, I
imagine.
believe that.
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would also say
Random coffee shop in the middle of New Jersey. I don't think that it's like necessarily the next E.E. Cummings.
wildly offensive too. But
Really?
like,
What was like one other poem that you
Oh
heard?
my God. I don't even know if
Did
I'm
you
allowed to talk about
stay
it.
and watch more or did you just leave?
I was like, I'm going to save the whole thing because I was like mad, but then I didn't. I got embarrassed and I just left.
Yeah, sure.
But I saw a couple and one was like a vile walkthrough of a woman's traumatic experience, but she was like way too specific with the words, right? You got to be like the night. She'd be like, the night has dropped, God isn't home. My ovaries were ripped out from my body with speculum by a bad doctor. You're like, what? What, man? Like that was crazy. That's too specific.
Yeah.
You got to go general.
Sure.
Like she took the woman in the mask took my womanhood. We get it. That's what you say. You don't be like, who used to do this a lot? Sorry. The band Live.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were like, lightning crashes, an old mother cries, And then the next line is, the placenta hit the floor.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Right.
the placenta? You don't throw placenta into a song, man. And that's what a lot of these people would do,
Right.
which I also think is very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if they're trying to be funny.
They are not.
Yeah. But see, that's why it's unfair that you are trying to be funny and specificity is working against you in the eyes of this open mic
Yeah.
host.
Well, also because they're like, he wasn't too far off in what we do. And
Right.
he's making fun of that
yes.
to our face.
Right.
Right.
And he's nailing it.
Yeah.
Right. And he's kind of presented this plausible and interesting scenario that could take place at a frat party, like
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
not too familiar, but I remember one certain
College?
Halloween where like these frat guys, I guess they had and been planning this for years, almost like a 9/11 sort of attack in terms of the amount of time that went into this and planning. Where they all, I think, jacked off into this bucket over time. Somehow preserved it in a way, and then dumped it at this big parade in Coconut Grove on a person. And I remember it because they dumped it. I thought it was water, and then it was in my girlfriend at the time's hair. And I was like, it's just water. And she goes, it's not water. And I was like,
I love that she kept the face. She soldiered on. She went, that's not water. That's
I know what
Let's
this
keep
is.
going.
I've had this in my hair.
This has been in my hair before.
She didn't freak out?
And yeah. And I was like, oh, and then there was like a big fight and stuff.
Did they get arrested?
No,
This is the 80s, man.
Yeah, that's true. That stuff just didn't happen. Like people are like, nah.
Yeah,
it just sucks.
That's not. Yeah, we're not.
But if somebody dumped a bucket of cum on me, I would be like, you're going to jail.
You're going to jail for that.
Yeah, I think that goes beyond small claim.
Yeah, that is large claims court.
That's large court. That's a large court.
Kind of funny. Where
Kinda
judge
gay
goes,
court.
hey,
That goes to big court.
I don't know about this. This might need to go to upstairs court. You got to go up a few floors on this one. This is not a small claim.
No.
Oh, also too, are we keeping records of who makes the claim just for their own like?
Yeah.
This
There will
guy's
be a book of
14 and 5.
records.
Do we have standings? You know what I mean? Stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Oh,
Or we keep AI music about it. So we type in the case into an AI music maker, and so the case is a song.
I guess,
Man,
but that doesn't really
Here's the thing.
answer.
That could also happen.
But that's not solving the question that you have.
Yeah.
I thought it was a fun
I
answer.
think we should.
It is a fun answer. It's a different answer. That's all, Greg.
It's just
We
the
don't
answer to a
keep it on
different
paper.
question.
We keep it to a beat. So it's like, I got to see the case from June 2004. And it's like, Mrs. Henderson had a cat. That cat ran out across the street. That cat got hit by a car. It's okay, but Miss Henderson was pretty mad. And you go, now I know the case.
Now it's a song on the radio. Is that what you mean?
No, our documents are kept through
instead of
song.
Yeah, all right, man. Whatever.
Sure, but there should be just like a ledger of like Anthony, 40 cases, like
Can it at least rhyme?
38 cases out of 40, like
Yes, okay, so there are numbers.
There need to be some numbers so people just know, like, oh, this person comes here every fucking
you're
week and
talking
they've
about-
never won.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
like
he was-
they're always in the wrong.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
like. Or like, oh, this person comes a lot, and like it feels like people are constantly grieving them. Perhaps that's also something to deal with, or
Right.
pick it up the ladder.
Right. And then let's go to the songbook.
And then
Right.
the songbook for detail.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Yes. Also, I like the idea that any kind of document that is written, because I love how courts always be like, well, we make them wear the wigs. They do these dumb old things they have to do. Well, one of the dumb things in our court is everything has to rhyme. So you could write it down. It's like, in came Larry. He's not that hairy.
Yeah.
He sat down before the judge. Your Honor, what rhymes with judge? It all has to rhyme.
Well, they have
God,
a
it's gonna be
person-
all day.
It's very long.
Well, or they have a person there that's, you know what I mean? They have maybe a panel of people that
Yeah.
have the dictionary.
Yeah.
You know
They
what
have
I mean?
rhymezone.com open. Yeah.
Exactly.
Court stenographers are rappers.
Right.
And they rap
Yeah.
about the case. That's
I love
fun.
that.
Yeah, that's great.
That's
man.
great.
Yeah. It's just an added thing to make the world more
fun.
fun. Let's go Talk Town, man. It is all about just making the world a little
It
more
is.
fun.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Awesome.
that's probably it.
Great.
That's it. I have a song for you to end with. The cream cheese has come. I have the song. You can.
Cream cheese has come, don't eat it or eat it. What kind of party you looking to be at? If